want the truth, but then when the truth is something you don't want, we have the problem. No, it can't work that way. Like my wife keeps giving me pop quizzes, and she don't like that I'm brutally honest. She came home the other night, she goes, can I ask you a question? And can you answer it truthfully without worrying about my reaction? Yeah, I can't wait. She goes, I'm going to ask you, and I want you to answer quickly so I know your answer is the truth. I said, go ahead. Am I your best friend? No. She goes, I'm not your best friend. No, you're not even 8th on the list. Stupid question. She goes, how come? Give me a reason. I'll give you a couple reasons. I like fishing, you think fish smell. I like hunting, you think it's cruelty to animals. I like golf, you think it's for old people. I like baseball, you think it's slow. I like basketball, you think it's fast. I like football, you don't understand the rules. I like playing video games, you think they're made for kids, and you don't even watch Power. My best friend. We have nothing in common. She goes, we have 2 kids. That should have been your first clue. I would have never got my best friend pregnant. That's stupid.
So there's one thing I'm gonna say to you that has made sense in my brain, and to the girls that can relate to this, is where are you going? Because if these men feel like they can't attain you, like they can't get to you, they can't afford you, they can't access you, they're never going to approach you, ever. Like, you're just out of their league and they won't even try. So you have to go to places like, where are you going? So think about, like, where do you grab your coffee? Where do you go for lunch? Where do you meet your friends? Where do you go at the weekend? Where do you go to the gym? Are these men of your, like, do they have the same energy that you're bringing? Because it's so scary approaching women. Like, I do feel for men. It's very intimidating, and especially a woman that you just are looking at like, I could never, like, she's out of my league, but I would want to. He probably, like, most men are looking at you like, oh, he's like, but, and if you want these men to approach, if you are going to the right places, maybe it's an energy thing on your part where you just maybe need to be a little, like, less cold, because when you're like feminine, like, that energy is so attractive. It's loose and it's like happy and it's free, and it's just very, like, even women, like women in, I always notice women, they're very like straight-faced, but they're at the bar with their drink, they're very serious, and they're looking around at like who's looking at them. They're the ones that are always watching me. I'm telling you, like, them, you pique the interest of everyone when you have like this like flowy feminine energy. I'm like, everyone's looking at you because they're like, what has she got? Like, what is it? No one can put their finger on it, but it's your energy. But if you're coming across as intimidating, that's probably maybe a little bit too I don't want to say masculine, but like cold. I've been called cold before. So where are you going? So maybe like it's where you're going, like the men just can't access you. They realise you're out of their league and they just don't even want to try. Or maybe like look towards like your energy, if it's a little bit too on the masculine side, like too strong and not enough like looseness. Do you know what I mean? But there are places now I would never go. Like, last time I went to a club was maybe a little less than a year ago, and even the bouncers were looking at me like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you here for? Why are you here? And the men in the club, like, it's like, everyone just, like, no one comes near me. I'm like radioactive, like, no one wants to know. But the places where I will get more approached is like the races. Everyone's dressed up and everyone kind of looks like they're on the same wavelength. Expensive bars, expensive like places. The supermarket, apparently.
Honestly, modern women, seem to be able to read everybody else's body language but their own. It's like they don't have any self-awareness, and it's very weird.
Let's talk about how men don't choose the woman that they want to marry. Here's the thing, a guy could be with the love of their life, but if they're not at the right stage in their life, they will fumble, and something about it just won't work out. When men get to a comfortable stage in their lives, that is when they decide to settle down. It's when they have their career set and they're tired of the party phase. Whoever that man is with at that time in their life is who they're gonna get married to if she is stable. It's almost like something just kind of switches in their head and they're like, I'm ready. This may be reaching, but I feel like this ends up leading to a lot of divorce because the men choose to marry the woman that they weren't 100% for. Like, he could have met his soulmate when he was in his 20s, but if he wasn't ready to get married until his 30s, he's not going to end up with his soulmate. So let's say you see the person that you thought was your soulmate settle down with somebody after your guys' breakup. That's not because of you, that's because of him, and that's a timing thing. When he was with you, he simply just like wasn't ready. Anyways, I love you guys and I hope this helps.
It doesn't, because it's flat out a lie. There are men that choose based on what the woman brings to the table. He evaluates, he takes her around his family. What do you guys think? Hey, do you like her? Does she fit in? Is she stable? Yes, sure. Is she pretty? Yes. But it more so along the lines of, do we mesh versus, oh, you're the next one. I'm ready to get married. You'll do. Come on, guys.
Here's one reason why it's so hard to date a man that's good looking, makes great money, and is in the entertainment industry. Like myself, I'm an artist, I'm a performer. I would love to be with someone of the same lifestyle.
He don't want you. If he's in the same lifestyle that you are and he's good looking, he don't want you. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what you're about to say.
But unfortunately, the good looking men that I am attracted to, not one, but multiple, I'm noticing a pattern in them. They want to be chased. They want to be pursued without putting in the same effort back. Not to mention, they are constantly surrounded by women, which is not a problem. But they also take the time to make sure that, they look good when you're around. When you're around, they want you around. They want you around. They want you to do this and that. They want to hook up with you. They want you to be their girlfriend, but they don't want to put in the effort to actually be that. It's not.
Do you prefer a woman that works or stays at home?
Works.
Whatever he wants to do, but work. Do you prefer a woman who works or stays at home?
Whatever they want.
She works every day.
Oh, job for sure. We love working women.
Cool. Works. I don't really care, but I guess stays at home.
Sergeant Outlaw, do you prefer a woman that works or stays at home?
Works.
Works, but it's also important for the wife to stay at home with the kids for the first couple of years.
Sergeant Rosas, is that locked?
Yeah. Stays home and works.
Work from home?
Whatever they're happy with.
Do you prefer a woman who
Catch me while I'm eating a roll.
Do you prefer a woman who works or stays at home?
Ooh. A little bit of both. Part-time.
Works.
I want a girl that matches my hustle, so she's got to work.
Do you prefer a woman that works or stays at home?
Works.
So I got tagged on this, and I also saw this video, and this soldier is asking other male soldiers, do you prefer a woman who works or stays at home? And 95% of these guys are saying that the woman has to work, and in many cases it's like a non-negotiable item. And also in the comments, men are saying that women who don't work are basically homeless. I do not understand this mentality. I don't know how men got here, but you're missing the power of having a woman who is loving your home, loving you, and loving your children. It's like an incredible, dynamic, and I don't get it. I don't know how young men got to the point of 50-50 dating and not appreciating this reality.
I understand where you're coming from. Maybe there's a disconnect. So there are modern women out here that literally sit at home and do nothing. Literally. It's not a loving home. They don't cook. They don't clean. They don't even halfway raise the children. Well, what do you mean? I mean, they feed the children because the children need to be fed. They wash clothes because clothes need to be washed. Or because they don't have anything. I don't have anything to wear. Literally, if I could wear the same clothes every day, then I would. And some women, some modern women, do that. And so it comes to a point of the house is not clean, the kids are fed, they're alive. The kids are alive. That's about the best that I can hope for. But they're dirty, stinky, smelly, diapers might not be changed. Where is the food at? What you get when you come home from work is a Hot Pocket. Who's going to want that for dinner every single night? I could see if, oh man, I'm really feeling bad. Can you cook dinner or get some takeout tonight? But these modern women have really, honestly and truly, no use for men other than give me your check, give me your wallet, buy me things, flowers, cars, houses, whatever it is that I want, bust your behind to buy it for me, and what you get in return is nothing. So yes, these men are saying, I don't want to do that. We both need to be working. If you want something, then you need to go work for it. If you're going to be sitting at home doing nothing, then that's not what I want. Now, on the other hand, if you're not doing that, then that's a different story. But that's where the disconnect is, if you're asking.
Hey y'all. So I know this video probably should have come a few days ago, but I just kind of took a little break from posting on TikTok. And on top of that, I had 50 parts of who the fuck got married to get through. So I apologize. But there were a few things about the video that I did want to address, starting with the comment, if you're over 35, you've missed that boat. So I think it is important to note that RV and I talked to Vlad for at least an hour. It was such a long conversation and it was cut into that little part. So it kind of course, with editing, it kind of misses some context and some nuance. But I want to make it clear that was not the blanket statement that was made, nor do we believe it to be true. All my friends that get married in their 30s, and I tell people all the time, I've had no desire to get married in my 20s. It feels like I'm still a teenager. Also, Dottie does not stop at 35. It's all the way through 30 up until 40. So again, there was just some context that was missing from that part. Secondly, because if you've been here a while, then you know that I actually started with Dottie almost 2 years ago. That was the first time that I made a video about Dottie, was about 2 years ago. But in between that time, I've dated people who I didn't meet through Dottie and things like that. So I was kind of on and off with the Dottie process, and now I am back on with the Dottie process. A lot of you guys have talked about getting accepted into Dottie and things like that. As you can imagine, there's an inundation and has been on the Dottie end. So just be patient, y'all, because the thing is, it's like there's a lot of women, but you got to have the man inventory. So just be patient with the process. I've also gotten a lot of questions about pricing, and pricing for matchmaking truly varies. Like, it is truly not a one-size-fit-all pricing method. It goes by matches. It goes by kind of what you need. It goes by timeline. So that part, you know, of course varies. But Dottie does do free events, free matchmaking events. So just make sure that you guys sign up for that program. So that way, I think it's called like Friend of Dottie, I think the program is called. But that way you guys can come to the events for free and meet men. And yes, lastly, the staring thing is so weird. And it happens, in my opinion, the most if you live in New York, I feel like it is like the mark of Dumbo House. It is the mark of New York. I can't speak to dating experiences elsewhere, but I can tell y'all in New York City, the men do not speak. And it is very, very weird.
These women are making money hand over fist. Hand over fist. With these singles events that that men don't want to be a part of. They not getting anything from it, just spending money. Money, money, money. Hey, come to my singles event. Hey, let's get together. And they love it. And the women love it because it's another reason to get out the house, to socialize. So even if they don't meet a man, they're just socializing. And they forget, because a lot of modern women get distracted from the actual purpose and goal of why they come to certain things and go certain places. Oh man, we made friends and it was so fun, and they keep on going. Oh man, come go with us to this singles event. We're gonna meet some men. That's like a back burner. But we're coming to have drinks and really party and have fun. It's just another more sophisticated, nice place to have fun. That's really it. You're not gonna meet any men because men ain't really gonna be going to these types of things with responses like, oh man, you ain't in my league, so they're not gonna pay for that. But women will, and they're gonna continue to do it, so they lose money. And the people keep on putting these things on, keep on getting rich. And they wonder, well, how are you getting rich? Show me. What do I do? Well, you just put your ideas out in the universe and it'll come. Stupid advice that don't work. Just let them know you getting rich off of them. And they not even getting what they want.
Ladies, why aren't men chasing women, or why aren't they coming back or obsessing you during no contact? Because you didn't do everything you were supposed to do in a relationship. Over a period of time, when we go through no contact and we break up, we're going to think of all the good things and all the memories and forget the bad. But if you as a woman during a relationship was, I don't give up, didn't care, taking it for granted, doing weird, dude, when you guys go through no contact, he's not going to give a fuck about you, bro. He's not going to care. He's not going to care. Because he's going to sit here and think to himself, man, I don't really give a f. This girl didn't even do shit like that. Because he's going to try to remember the things you did and just be like, nah, I'm good. But if you was a woman really doing them right, holding them down, being positive, being loyal, showing them love, when y'all go through no contact, that dude's going to start hurting in his chest. His chest is going to sink. He's going to be like, yo, I need her. Where is she? Where is my woman? That's the truth, man.
So a lot of men nowadays say, I don't pursue women. Women come to me and they chase me. And if you will step back, I will never chase you or pursue you. Now, why men say this? Men say this so you would not start to play games and you would not act hot and cold and that you would not step back. However, the truth is, will he pursue you or not? Only his actions will show, not his words.
When men refuse to date ugly women, it's shallow. But when women refuse to date ugly men, it's fine because that's like a form of oppression.
If you think you're petty, just know that I turned down a year of free vacations because I was dating this guy, and at the beginning of dating on his Instagram, he had photos with his ex-girlfriend and they would travel together, like that's their thing. I swear they went on a new vacation probably like every 2 weeks. So when he started dating me, he was like, oh, can I take you on vacation? And I was like, no, you used to do that with your ex-girlfriend, and I've never been on vacation with a man before, so I'm gonna save it for someone who's waiting for me. Why did I do that?
Who doesn't love the good old-fashioned Hollywood trope of the friend zone guy being the right guy all along that was under her nose the whole time? It sounds like something, Julia Roberts would be. Well, oh, wait, she was. This comment. It's funny. I usually hear from men who are upset about being friend zoned. I rarely hear from women who are upset about being friend zoned because, I don't know, women either take it or leave it. I think that's one of the things. And I think the other thing is, like, women understand the value of having a good friend, and they understand that, if this is someone that we intellectually connect, it doesn't hurt to have another person kind of in my support network. Men don't do well with the friend zone because they see it as you're kind of waiting on bat. They think if I just hang around long enough.
Yeah, but when women are friends with men, a lot of times they're getting something from the man. Modern women, at least, they're getting something from the man. When they go out, the man pays. When they hang out or whatever it is, the man's going to have the responsibility to still be a gentleman. They are going to look at that guy as he's stronger, he's in the role of a protector. But how are you nurturing the man? You don't have to sleep with him. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but what are you providing for the man that he can take back and use? Oh, well, I'm just giving him conversation. Well, we're both giving each other conversation. So why should I have to pay? You know what I mean? A man doesn't mind standing up for his friends. He'll do that whether it's a guy or a girl. But what is a woman going to give to a man in friendship that he can't do with his other dudes? And that's why men get mad at the friend zone, is because you're out here wasting my time talking to me about other dudes when I'm saying, hey, man, I liked you. And I would be willing to stick around if you actually gave me something out of this friendship other than me spending my time, my money, and my effort, and I never get anything in return.
Enough, she is going to realize what a good thing has been in her face all along. And here's the sad truth. If she friend zone you, you're not the right guy. You were never the right guy for whatever reason. Maybe she's not attracted to you. Maybe there's other lifestyle factors that make you guys incompatible. But you can stick around for 2 months or 2 years. You're never going to be the right guy. And you really have no right to be bitter about it. If she said she only wants to be friends with you, she means it. Now, I have learned from my mistake of friend zoning a couple guys and then finding out later on that when they really aren't going to get anywhere with me, they're not so nice. Going back to my video about nice guys not really being nice guys. I learned that the hard way. So now, if I'm not attracted to them, I let them go. I don't try to form a friendship. Gentlemen, maybe that's something that you should be doing too.
So something that I've noticed since being in law school and even graduated from law school and starting my business and everything like that is that some men don't want to be with a successful woman. Now, they may claim they do, but in reality, they don't. Once you get to a certain level of success, your success can begin to intimidate them. And that will show up in little ways in the relationship. Why? Because they begin to resent your success because you're becoming the powerhouse of the relationship, the mitochondria, if you will, and they don't like that. To them, you're supposed to be behind them, slightly behind them, or beside them, as they say. And so when you begin to step in front of them, when you become to get in the limelight, they don't want that to happen. They don't like that. It takes a strong man, someone who is comfortable in himself, in his career, in his person, in his manhood, to be with a successful woman.
You know, the problem with public companies sometimes is that the board members and the investors, because they have the money, they talk too much. I'm sure they have the knowledge, but they don't have the vision of what the founder was trying to do. So what the founder and the board members have to do is work together with each other in order to get the goal accomplished. Hey, we want to see these profits in the third quarter. Can you do it? I don't know, because of X, Y, and Z. Modern women are kind of in some ways like the investor, the board member and investor from hell, because they think that they know everything. Once they get some money, they think that they own the universe and they can tell you how to run your company. Listen, I'm all ears. I want support, but I started the company and this is my vision. And yes, I need help, but you invested in my company. I gave you the proposition, or maybe you saw me somewhere and you said, hey, that looks like a good company to invest in. Why? Because I have something. And so if I have something, that means I'm not an idiot. So why, because you have money, do you think that you can treat me like an idiot? You're on board to grow yourself, as well as I can gain something out of the relationship too. So when you talk about dating and relationships and courting and stuff like that, modern women get to the point to where they think that they can disrespect, they can overlap the man's vision and be the man and be masculine in a relationship. And then they wonder why they fail.
Why would he stop pursuing you in early stages? Two main reasons. Reason number one is because you made it too difficult. You put too many barriers of entry up. You made a lot of friction. You didn't reply back, but you're not communicating. He's not looking for that. Even if he really liked you at the beginning, the minute you start putting friction barriers, like you make it hard to see and you're playing games, he's out with you. Especially more experienced dudes, they're done with you. He's looking for something a little more seamless, even to get to know you. Even if he liked you, he's cutting it. And if he stays, he's a punk. Number two is because he was never really interested in you like that in the first place, or he grew to realize he didn't see you as wife material. Those two things are valid to be true. So he said, it's just not worth me pursuing anymore. I don't want to keep investing for something I don't see long term. I could never see it. And this saves you. You want him to stop pursuing you. Saves you a little bit of time. You don't want him to waste your time pursuing you when you don't want. If he wanted something physical, okay, then he's pursuing you for that. But if he stopped, he'd say to himself, this is not my wife. And that's okay.
Men with girlfriends, why do you guys have to like other girls' pictures on Instagram?
Girls with boyfriends, why do you have to post half-naked pictures of yourself on Instagram?
Freaking hard is it to just scroll?
How freaking hard is it to keep those type of pictures private in your photo gallery?
She's so pretty, admire her, sure.
Admire yourself, sure, but just don't post it publicly.
Is it worth hurting someone you love over something as meaningless as Instagram pictures?
Is it worth hurting someone you love over something as meaningless as Instagram likes?
That's a boundary that your girlfriend is setting. Then why not just respect it?
If that's a boundary your boyfriend is setting, then why not just respect it?
Let them know we are not too needy or sensitive or insecure for having standards.
Let them know we are not too needy or sensitive or insecure for having standards. That's so tough.
If you are not ready to be loyal and submissive, some of you will say, I'm a no-nonsense woman. No man can tell me what to do. No man can tell. If no man can tell you what to do, my sister, remain in your father's house. If you cannot listen to a man, if you cannot take orders from a man, why are you looking for a man when you're already a man? Man up yourself and be single. Because it takes two to tell.
There's a difference between how guys approach women. Black men, especially young black men, will approach anything walking. Okay? Other races of men, they watch you first. They make sure you're the type of woman that they are interested in. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to pounce on you because they're so desperate. You know, they're going to wait until the right moment, until the right da-da-da-da-da-da. And then once they say, okay, well, I see her walking around. I think she's cute. You know, I've seen her a few times. I think she's nice. Maybe I'll approach. Or they could be worried about what other people think because they're still in school, they're still impressionable, they're still young, and they may not approach based on who their friends are and how they grew up. So the best thing I can tell you is get off campus, get into the real world. You're old enough to get into certain places, go there. Stop messing with students. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go get you a professor. I bet you they'll holler.
Why don't men approach? I don't know. Well, you continue to make ignorant statements about men. That could be one reason why.
Oh, he basically said he looked like he could afford me. Not is giving buy one get one free. Not is giving 20% off. Not clearance.
And this is the absolute truth. Like, men don't typically approach the women who are all dolled up, where they have their nails and their hair and their outfit. Like, you could tell this woman puts a lot of time and energy into herself, the perfume and all that. Those are women they're typically intimidated by. They're afraid to approach those women because they're afraid that they don't make enough, that they're not established enough, that woman's going to want more from them than they can actually afford to give her. They're not going to approach a woman like that. Now, if you're outside and you're looking like you just rolled out of bed, you may get more men that want to holler at you because they're looking at you and they're gauging and they say, I could afford that. I could afford to be with a woman who's not getting her hair done, her nails done, who doesn't put on makeup and all that, even though they don't know that you could be both. That you could be the same person who runs to Walmart in slides and a bonnet, and you might also, when it's time for you to show up on a weekend or a Friday night or a date night, you can also show up. They don't know that. But all they know is what they see, and they gauge you based on that. And some men do go for the women that they feel are affordable because they don't want to help you to do anything to help you maintain your look or any of those things. Now, sadly, some of those men will get with you, but then they'll cheat on you with a woman who does put that time and effort into the look because that's what they want. It's just not what they can afford.
You know, it's really interesting. One story that I think is interesting about my parents is that my mom came from a good home. Not really a lot of money there. They weren't poor, more lower middle class sort of thing, right? My dad was kind of the same way. When they got together, mom already had her degrees, working for one of those really big oil companies. It said the name that you would know the name. One of the, I'd say top 3, top 4, definitely top 5 oil and gas companies in the world, I would say, or the country at least. So she was already working there, and she was doing that well before him. So when they got together, he was doing pretty well, doing his thing. Not rich, but he was a go-getter, right? And it was really when she said, I think they were trying to get a house. And he was like, man, I don't really, this is a lot of money. So he said, you know what? You can do it. And she walked off. It was a nice house, huge yard. We had to mow that thing, and it was terrible. It seemed like that house had 4 different yards. The house had 4 sides. It would take literally an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to mow one side of the house. Maybe it's because we were little, but you get the point. BMWs, Mercedes back in the 90s, that was a thing. And my dad would go out and work for it because my mom said, hey, you know, I think you can do it. And she was still working now. She was bringing in a good portion of money. When she had us, she stopped working. But when she was done with that, about 2 or 3 years, she went back to work and continued on for about another 30, 35, 40 years. So this thing about men not wanting to work hard for their woman, not wanting to work hard to get a woman, oh, she's outside of my range. Which is it? Do men show off or do they not? It's always a coping mechanism. Oh, when they see you all dolled up, they're not going to approach you. Oh, they see you looking like a bum, so they're not going to approach. Oh, men don't want to work. Men work too much. Which is it? These modern women can't make up their minds as to what they want men to be. Let me see if I can provide you some advice. If you would just support the man in his mission, if you would just support the man in his vision, you get a lot further. Obviously, the disclaimer here would be, he don't need to be treating you terribly. He need to be taking care of you. That should go without saying. But you guys don't know your place. You don't know how you can help the team. You think that in many cases you are the team. Nobody wants to be around a show-off, a ball hog, a me guy. And so I don't know why that you think that you can get in a relationship and do that. Absolutely not. But you guys keep it up and then wonder why men don't approach you. Because you can't get it right. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Till the next video.